on, everybody? My name is Blitzwinger. Ladies and gentlemen, have I got some exciting news for you for LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. New York Comic Con has begun, and with it, we have got some exciting new reveals, including a few new Batmobiles, a golden Batmobiles coming to the game, a few new suits coming into the game, and in addition to that, did they just by mistake confirm the release date? Now, of course, before we dive into all of the news and break it all down in detail, please don't forget, guys, take a quick moment and batarang that like button. Don't actually batarang the like button because you'll probably break your computer, but just simply clicking the like button would be very much appreciated. Thank you so very much for your kindness and your continued support. And of course, like always, without further ado, let's get into the news. So yes indeed, we kick things off with the announcement of the LEGO Batman Legendary Collection from the LEGO Group. Now, I know what you're saying immediately, Blitz. Why are we talking about LEGO sets? You said that this would be a video about LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. Well, the reason why we're bringing that up is because these LEGO sets are actually going to be a tie-in with LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight video game. In fact, these sets will actually have codes that will unlock the Batmobiles that these sets are based on, and even exclusive gold LEGO Batmobile variants will be included as well, which is pretty dang exciting. Now, before we get into the Batmobiles, let's first actually talk about the Batman logo, because first and foremost, it's pretty dang cool looking. It is also the most expensive of the sets that was announced, coming in at least in Canadian prices, $79.99, which I think will probably end up being like $55 in the US. It is a pretty cool looking set, but the most exciting thing about this set is actually the minifigure that we can go on ahead and see right here, which is the LEGO Golden Batman. Now, I know what you're saying, Blitz. How could you possibly go on ahead and assume that this is going to be a playable suit inside of LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight? Well, because the official LEGO website went ahead and told me so, because if we go over to this paragraph, it says right here, bonus digital unlock feature. Redeem a golden character to play in the video game. LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. Scan the QR code on the building instructions and follow the directions. So, the gold LEGO Batman minifig that is included in the Batman logo set will indeed be a playable character in LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. Now, I know what you're also probably thinking at this point, but I'm starting to get worried. Does this mean that this will only be exclusively obtainable via the set? And my honest answer is I don't know. I did ask the official LEGO Batman DC account on Twitter to say, hey, do you guys know if this is going to be only available through this particular set or not? And they haven't responded yet, so if I ever do get a response and an actual clarification on that, I will provide it. I really hope this is more a case of like the sets maybe will give you the early unlock of these particular golden variants, but there will still be a way to earn the gold variants in the game by just completing tasks, missions, and challenges. Hopefully that will be the case. That way it doesn't feel like there's like this exclusive content that is only available to people that actually go out and purchase the sets. So next, let's go ahead and talk about our Batmobiles. Starting things off with the Batman Batmobile. These are going to all retail, by the way, for $30 each, so they should make for a really nice LEGO collection, affordable, and giving you a really nice display piece. But of course, we already knew that the Batman Batmobile would be included. It was already revealed. We've seen it in action, so there's really nothing new on this particular set's front besides just getting a nicer look at the actual minifigure design or the Pattinson version of the Batsuit. So that is definitely pretty nice. But the most exciting thing is, of course, once again, the previously mentioned gold variant, because this set will come along with an unlock code in order to be able to go ahead and get the gold version of the Batman Batmobile. In fact, they advertise it on the back of the box and even on the official LEGO website. And once again, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but as of right now, there's no official clarification as to whether or not these gold Batmobiles will be available in any way within the game. Maybe they'll actually become like DLC down the line where you could maybe pay like $1 or $2 or something like that to unlock them in game. That could also be a possible future, but as of the time of this recording, which is right when it was all announced at New York Comic Con, we don't have an official clarification on how these gold Batmobiles will be available besides codes inside of these sets. And then next up, I know that there are a lot of Snyderverse fans, so you'll be happy to know that we have an official confirmation of the Batman v Superman, or the BvS Batmobile, being included in the game as well. Not just the Batmobile, we also get our first look at the actual costume that we can expect to see in-game as well, which, by the way, looks pretty dang cool because it's the armored variant that has that shoulder piece item available as well to make him look a little bit bulkier, which I really like. So I think that is absolutely tremendous. Like, the actual minifig design looks super cool on its own. But then, can we all take a moment and appreciate how freaking cool this Batmobile looks? Like, I honestly was not the biggest fan of this Batmobile when I saw it in live action, but for whatever reason, I really love the sleek nature of this thing in Lego form. Plus the fact that it has this light gray application, I feel like it makes it stand out compared to the other Batmobiles, which are generally speaking going to be pretty much most of the time in black. So the fact that this one has a very different color scheme, I feel like lends it a little bit more uniqueness. So that is definitely pretty dang cool. And once again, similarly to what we just talked about with the Batman, this Batmobile with this set will allow you to also unlock the gold variant of this BvS Batmobile in-game as well. So again, pretty dang fantastic. And finally, when it comes to the Lego Batman Legendary Collection side of things, we also got the confirmation of the Batman and Robin Batmobile. That ridiculous design will indeed be playable in-game, and they actually did go ahead and post a cool trailer for it. That trailer actually does also give us our very first look at the gold Batmobiles in-game, which I really appreciate, so we can get a good idea of just how shiny these Batmobiles are going to be, which seems kind of counterintuitive to the whole notion of Batman, because, like, you want to be sleek and unnoticeable and, like, stealthy, whereas, like, if you're driving this big giant gold mobile, I feel like that's something the Joker would do more so than Batman, but still really fun. Once again, this Batmobile will of course also allow you to unlock the gold Batmobile in-game, which is pretty dang awesome. It is one of the most unique looking Batmobiles without a shadow of a doubt. It just looks so different compared to everything else, so at least it has that going for it. I know that it's not people's favorite Batmobile, but it's still pretty cool that it is included as part of this celebration of Lego Batman. And speaking of Batman, we also got a new minifig reveal, a new suit reveal for the Batman and Robin suit. And I think that this one is super exciting, mostly due to the fact that he has actual printing on the cowl. That's a very rare thing that Lego does, so I feel like this makes it extremely unique on its own. I also just think that the actual suit looks pretty sleek here in Lego form, so another exciting costume that we can expect to play as when Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight releases. Now, speaking of releases, that's another thing that we need to talk about, because one of the things that you'll probably notice if you visit the official Lego store right now, which, by the way, you can already pre-order all of the sets that we've been talking about so far, but if you visit the Lego store, they actually go ahead and say pre-order this item today and it will ship on March 1st, 2026. Now, I know what you're probably thinking right now. Yeah, Blitz, what's the big idea? That's when the sets are releasing. Why is that related to the release of their actual game? Well, like I've mentioned multiple times during today's video, the actual sets will include QR codes that unlock digital items in Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. So my question to you is, why would you be releasing Lego sets for a game that hasn't even released yet? Or why would you be releasing Lego sets with digital items inside of them for a game that hasn't released yet? So basically, what I'm trying to say here is that if we put 2 and 2 together, this pretty much implies that there's a very good chance that March 1st or somewhere around there is when the actual Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight video game will be released. So that should be pretty dang exciting, because it basically implies that we won't actually have to wait to play this game much longer. Oh, and of course, before we wrap things up for today's update, I also did want to go ahead and talk about this official post that they shared over on their Instagram page from the Gotham Globe, which of course is the newspaper that is active within the Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight video game, where we see a new playable costume for Jim Gordon. This is actually the younger Officer Gordon variant, where he doesn't even have his mustache sporting, so that is definitely pretty dang cool. And the other thing that I love is the attention to detail with these things already shows you just how many cool Easter eggs you can expect in the game, because even on this tiny little Instagram post that they shared this new costume in, if you look at the bottom for the photo credit, it actually makes reference to Arnold Glass, who is one of the corrupt officers that works within the GCPD building. So I just love the fact that, again, the attention to detail in this game is going to be spectacular. And there you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's update video. We got so many exciting things. We essentially have, how do you want to count it? I guess technically you could go ahead and say 5 new Batmobiles, because we got confirmed Batmobiles for BvS and of course Batman and Robin. Then we got the gold Batmobile variants for the Batman Batmobile, BvS, and Batman and Robin. And we've got, of course, the confirmed new suits for Batman, which is pretty dang fantastic. The new costume for Commissioner Gordon that we talked about. The gold suit for Lego Batman, which is absolutely exciting. Of course, there's a lot more New York Comic Con to happen, so I feel like there's still a good chance that maybe over the course of the weekend, we'll learn even more. So stay tuned. Make sure that you guys are subscribed and have your notifications turned on so that you do not miss out on the next update. And of course, like I always say, thank you guys so very much for your kindness. Thank you guys so very much for your continued support. And I will hopefully see you all here on the next one. Peace out. See you later, alligators.